Black Panther and the Illuminati previews coming right up. Mr. Clicks Flick is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning roll for all your gaming needs. You can visit them at LuckyDiceCafe.com or on their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Mr. Clicks Flicks is also brought to you by TrollandToad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Use the promo code Mr. Clicks Flicks for 5% off your Heroclix order today. Alright guys, so today we have 5 Black Panther and the Illuminati previews for you. All of them look good. You guys let me know in the comments below which one is your particular favorite as we're going through them. And let's go ahead and get into this. First is number 58, The Hood. He has the Cabal, Mystical, Magia, and Illuminati keywords. He has 3 traits and a special on his movement. His first trait is 2 different additional point lines. One is +5, one is +15, and it is Bearer of the Infinity Gauntlet. The Hood starts the game with any one Infinity Gem equipped. If you paid 15 points, you may instead start the game with any one Infinity Gauntlet equipped. So again, we are referencing that there may be more than one Infinity Gauntlet in this set, although only one's been previewed. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to check out the YouTube card now for that one. Pretty interesting video, but yeah, so it seems like we're going to get more than one Infinity Gauntlet. The other trait is called Power in the Palm of My Hand. Free. If the Hood is equipped with a Black Panther and the Illuminati Infinity Gem, remove it from the game without scoring it. Then equip him with a different Black Panther and Illuminati Infinity Gem from outside the game. So you're able to basically use all 6 of the gems with them, which is pretty cool. And I'm not sure, you guys let me know in the comments below if outside the game means like you could technically run 2 power gems or 2 space gems so that you could cycle back through a second time. I'd be interested, since it's outside the game and technically not on your force. I'm not sure how that would work. That may end up being a question that gets asked later on. But like I said, if a rules person knows, let me know in the comments below, because I'd be interested to know. His other trait is called Rule as the World Burns. When an opposing character rolls for leadership and the result is 1 or 2, remove an action token from the Hood. That's awesome. That's a really cool trait. So kind of it bordering on disincentivizes your opponent to roll for leadership in the event that they miss, because basically there's a 66% chance of something not good happening. There's 33% chance of something not good for anybody happening if they roll a 3 or 4. A 33% chance of something bad happening for your opponent and you removing an action token, and a 33% chance of something good happening for them by removing a token from themselves. So I just think that's pretty cool there. Then his special on his movement is called Infinity Quest, Phasing Teleport. When the Hood is equipped with a listed Infinity Gem, he can use the following effects. Space, Passenger 4, but only to carry characters that share a keyword with him. Now, having Mystical as a keyword means that you're probably going to get to use that, because that's one of the stronger generic keywords, so pretty cool there. Passenger 4 is good. Like I really like that we're getting a lot more taxis nowadays, and a lot more characters where they can function beyond just a flat taxi too, so that's pretty cool. The other part of the trait is Power. When the Hood moves once per turn, after resolutions, he may make an attack. So that's cool too. So basically you move and then you get to make an attack. When we get a look at his movement, he can actually move pretty far. And then Reality, Stealth. If the Hood is or an adjacent character occupying a clear square, lines of fire drawn to them are hindered. So that means he always at least gets the +1 defense, I believe, and then he also gets stealth. I don't think that means that basically he has perma-stealth, although I could be wrong. I've been wrong before about things like that. Basically you get to choose which one of those you want to use based on which Infinity Gem you have. And then there's a caveat at the bottom. If he's equipped with an Infinity Gauntlet, he can use all of these effects. All of these effects. That is super powerful. So for 95 points, if you added 15 points to equip any Infinity Gauntlet, would make him, if my math is correct, 110 points. So you would be able to, in addition to what you're getting from the Infinity Gauntlet, get to be a 4-character phasing teleporting taxi. And then once you get to where you're taxiing your people to, you can make an attack because of the power gem. And then if you have to not quite be able to get there at first, you end up with stealth. And if him or an adjacent friendly character occupies a clear square drawn to them, are hindered. So they're all at least getting +1 defenses. That is, I don't see why you wouldn't pay 15 points for that. So he's 95 points base stats, but you can up him to 100 or 110. Has the Mystic's team ability, 6 range dual target, 10 movement with that special, and the flight ability, 10 attack with telekinesis, 18 defense with invincible, 3 damage with leadership. I think this guy's phenomenal, definitely abusable. I can think of a ton of figures that are cheap that would be really good with him just off the top of my head. I would say this guy's a must-have, and I've been saying that a lot with this set, so I would definitely try to pick it up from either of the sponsors of the channel. I know Lucky Dice Cafe is currently doing $90 brick pre-orders for this set, and I believe Troll and Toad is also doing pre-orders for this set, but I do not know off the top of my head what the cost is, although I'd assume that it's a similar price. And the promo code will not work for pre-orders. However, once the set drops for them, it'll work on sealed and singles purchases for that. Next up, we have Titania, number 47 in the set. She has 2 traits and a special on her movement. Her first trait is called Bearer of the Power Gem, which is a +5 trait, so you got to add 5 points to her total. Titania starts the game with a Black Panther and the Illuminati Power Gem equipped. So pretty cool there. We don't know what the Power Gem does yet, but you know, hopefully it adds something to attack or damage or both. So I could see how that would easily be worth 5 points. Then her other trait is called Rule as the World Burns. When an opposing character rolls for leadership and the result is 1 or 2, remove an action token from Titania. That's good. That's it was good on the figure we looked at before. It's good on this figure. And also, I skipped over the keywords. She has Femazons, Illuminati, Masters of Evil, and Brute. It seems like we're going to be getting a ton of Illuminati figures, which is good. That's classically one of the keywords I like to run. Masters of Evil is normally pretty decent. Brute is actually okay for a keyword. Prime Vulture is a Brute keyword, just to let you know, like, some of the things that linger in there. Then the special on her movement is called I'll Show You Smiling More, Flurry Plasticity. So she has 2 different point values, 95 points and 70 points, and she has the Masters of Evil team ability. Her stats at 95 points start off with a 10 movement with charge, 11 attack, super strength, 17 defense with invincible and indomitability, and 4 damage. Not bad for 95 points. I think that 5-point power gem is probably going to put her over the top. I'd imagine it probably makes her a 12 attack, 5 damage, or something like that. At 70 points, she has a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack with quake, 17 defense with impervious, and 3 damage with nothing on it. I like the 70-point dial a lot more. You're not losing anything stats-wise other than 1 off the movement and 1 off the attack, and or damage, I'm sorry. And for 15 points, you can easily make that up. So I definitely like her. I like her a lot. Next up, we have Maximus. He is number 60 in the set, has the Cabal, Inhumans, Ruler, and Scientist keywords. He has a trait, a special on his movement, and a special on his damage. His trait is called Maximus the Mad. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6, 1 or 2. Until your next turn, Maximus can use Battle Fury. I would say that that's probably going to end up being a drawback on him. But there are, in the current competitive scene, there's a lot of shape change, so it could be, kind of a blessing in disguise. 3 or 4. Until your next turn, characters within range, including Maximus, can't be given a costed action if they have an action token. So that means that basically nobody even has the option to push if they have an action token, which there's, especially with one-man armies, that's really brutal for them right now. 5 or 6, choose an opposing character with a power on their card. That character can't use that power until your next turn. So this is important. This gets around Pyrocosmic and Quintessence. So you can choose to, just take a power away from them, which is really cool, especially in, competitive, but even just for friendly games. This guy seems like he'll be able to flex in both, possibly. Then the special on his movement is called Maximus the Magnificent, Mind Control Stealth. When Maximus uses Mind Control, after resolutions, each hit character is given 2 action tokens. That's phenomenal. So basically you're giving out push damage if they don't have Indom or Willpower. And then whenever you combine that with the at the beginning of your turn business, and let's say you give them a, you roll a 5 or 6, you choose a power that they can't use, then you mind control them to give them two action tokens, you're doing a lot of negative things to your opponent. Then there's the special on his damage called Maximus the Magnanimous. Perplex, but only to target friendly characters. When Maximus uses it until your next turn, also modify the same combat value +1 on all other friendly characters that share the same name as the target. So that is pretty cool. That almost promotes doing swarms. I really hope that we get the alpha primitives again in this set, because that'd be cool for him to work with them. But scientist is definitely a strong keyword for him. I could see running dual Maximus and basically perplexing out the other Maximus and then getting +1 for him, and then using the other one to perplex it up again and then get +1 again. I could see trying that out and seeing how it works. He's 90 points, has a 6 ranged little target, 8 movement with that special, 11 attack with telekinesis, 17 defense with mastermind and indomitability, and 2 damage with that special. I like this guy a lot just because he's Inhumans, which is one of my personal favorite teams to run. And this guy seems like he has the possibility of being competitive, just because 2 out of his 3 dice rolls that he could get really brutalize your opponent's action economy. And then with his mind control handing out 2 action tokens, you have the ability to lock down an entire team. The fact that he has two targets really makes it brutal for some people. I'd be interested to see how he does against a bunch of different teams. Next up, we have Iron Man, number 52 in the set. He has the Avengers, Illuminati, Armor, and Scientist keywords. He has a trait, a special on his attack, and a special on his defense. His trait is a +5 trait, so he's 5 extra points if you want to use it. It is called Bearer of the Space and Reality Gems. Iron Man starts the game with either the Black Panther and the Illuminati Space Gem or Black Panther and the Illuminati Reality Gem. So not sure what those do exactly to know whether or not that trait's worth it, but I would just safely assume that it does something worth 5 points. The special on his attack is called Threat Analysis Complete. Energy Explosion. When Iron Man uses it with the Black Panther and the Illuminati Space Gem equipped, all other characters within 2 squares in line of fire of the original target become targets instead, and damage dealt can't be reduced below 0. So that, to me, is really phenomenal. That's a cool thing to do. So Energy Explosion that can't be reduced below 1, and then characters within 2 squares in line of fire of the original target become targets, which is good. It's not just adjacent characters. So that's really cool. Then the special on his defense is called I Seriously Do Not Know How You Feel. How you felt for that. Toughness. When Iron Man would be targeted by a ranged attack while he has the Black Panther and the Illuminati Reality Gem equipped, roll a d6. 5 or 6, you may instead choose another character, friendly or opposing, within range and line of fire of the attacker, and they become the target of the attack, even if they would otherwise be an illegal target. So that's really cool there. I think there was a figure before that had a similar thing. It was like Mr. Nobody from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something like that. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. That did a similar thing, and it was cool when it happened. So he's 145 points, has the Avengers team ability. Starts off with a 7 range dual target, 11 movement with running shot and the flight ability, 11 attack with that special, 18 defense impervious and indomitability, 4 damage without wit. I like this guy. It's pretty cool, especially whenever you consider paying the extra 5 points to, even if you don't know what the Space Gem does on its own, getting the extra energy explosion I think is really cool, and the fact that you can dual target with him and then it can't be reduced below 0 makes this guy a cool figure for cleaning up swarm teams and stuff like that. I don't think it's meta, but I think he's really fun, and I really like the sculpt on this one. Alright, last up in this batch of previews is the Space Gem, number S004. It is a light and indestructible object, and its effect is Modify Speed +1, Phasing Teleport, Passenger 2. When this character hits, if the attack roll was 10 or higher, after resolutions you may place a hit character up to 8 squares away from their current square. So that's really cool there. They haven't done that kind of thing in a while. The last time they did something where you could hit a character and then place them was, I think, Red Shift, which was Galactic Guardians, I think. So we're talking like nearly 10 years ago for that. And then the only thing other than that that could place opposing figures was Alpha 1 from TMNT Wave 1. So that's a really cool ability there. 10 points. So as we note from the Iron Man and other things, seems like you're going to get the gems for 5 points less, basically half cost. So it looks like if you're paying for traits are half cost of whatever the individual item might be. So that's all the previews. Like I said before, make sure to comment below what your favorite one was. I really enjoy reading that stuff. Make sure to, if you enjoyed this video, to give it a thumbs up, give it a share. It really helps keep me motivated to make these videos. That's all I have for you today. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.